So far, we've treated the Kafka broker as a kind of magic black box. We know we connect to it, we send it messages, and it holds our data. But how does it actually do that? How does it store data so efficiently, and how does it keep from running out of disk space? Now we are going to open up that black box. Understanding how a broker physically stores data is the key to understanding why Kafka is so incredibly fast and reliable. At a high level, every broker in your cluster has three primary responsibilities. It acts as the server that producers connect to. Its first job is to listen for incoming messages from producers and accept them. Once it receives a message, the broker's most critical job is to write it down to its disk safely and durably. As we'll see, the way it does this is highly optimized. The broker listens for requests from consumers. When a consumer asks for data, the broker must be able to find that data quickly and send it over the network. On top of this, brokers are constantly talking to each other to replicate data, ensuring that if one broker fails, another has an identical copy. Now let's focus on that second job, storing data, because that's where the real magic happens. Imagine you have a topic called order events. We know this topic is split into partitions. On the broker's disk, each partition is its own separate folder. Now you might think that inside that folder, Kafka just writes all the messages into one single giant log file. But that would be very inefficient. A file that's terabytes in size would be impossible to manage or clean up. So Kafka does something much smarter. The solution is log segments. Think of a partition's log not as a single book, but a giant continuous scroll. Every new message is written to the end of the scroll. Writing to the endless scroll is impractical. At some point, you need to manage it. So Kafka cuts the scroll into smaller, manageable pieces. These pieces are called log segments. When a producer sends messages, they are always written to the most recent segment, which is called the active segment. A new segment file is created when the current active segment reaches a certain size, for example 1 gigabyte, or after a certain amount of time has passed. This approach is fantastic because dealing with smaller 1 GB file is much easier than dealing with one massive multi-terabyte file. Okay, so we have all these segment files, but if a consumer says, hey, I need to start reading from message number 580,000, how does the broker find that message without scanning every single segment file from the beginning? This is where Kafka's indexes come in. For every .log segment file it creates, Kafka also creates two small index card files. The offset index file, which is the .index file, this is like a table of contents for the scroll piece. It's a simple map that says message offset number 580,000 is located at byte position 34,592 in the .log file. This allows Kafka to instantly jump to the exact right spot on the disk to start reading, which is incredibly fast. And then we have the time index, the .timeindex file. This works similarly but maps message timestamps to offsets. It's used when a consumer wants to start reading from a specific point in time, like give me all messages from the last hour. These small index files are loaded into memory, allowing the broker to perform lightning fast lookups without ever having to read the large data files on disk until it knows exactly where to go. This is a primary reason for Kafka's high performance. If Kafka keeps writing messages to new segments, won't the broker's disk eventually fill up? Yes, it would. And to solve this, Kafka uses retention policies. Think of the head librarian creating a rule for the scroll room. There are two main types of rules or retention policies. We have time-based retention. This is the most common policy. The rule is throw away any log segments where all the messages are older than a set amount of time. For example, the default might be 7 days. So log.retention.hours will be equal to 168. This is perfect for operational data where you only care about the last week's worth of events. Next, we have size-based retention. The rule is if the total size of this partition's log exceeds a certain limit, for example 50 gigabytes, then start throwing away the oldest log segments even if they aren't 7 days old. The key here is that Kafka operates on entire segments. It doesn't delete messages one by one. It simply deletes the whole file, the 0000.log and its indexes, which is a very fast and efficient disk operation. So to recap, the Kafka broker is a master of efficient storage. It splits partition logs into manageable segments. It uses index files to provide lightning-fast lookups without scanning data. It uses retention policies to automatically clean up old data by deleting entire segments. This elegant architecture of logs, segments, and indexes is what allows a Kafka broker to receive, store, and serve massive amounts of data with incredible performance.